Welcome, everyone. Welcome to another session of Open Diner. How's everybody? Look good. I hope you have something good to eat, something good to drink, because we kind of forget to talk about drinking and eating, except for last week. But I always have something to eat and drink. So tonight's topic is collective brilliance. It's kind of like the wisdom of the crowd. We talked about that once on one of our other shows, and it's going to be really interesting tonight. So if you can put your cameras on, please do. It looks like everybody does have their camera on, and we're going to introduce the hosts, or if there's anybody new here, doesn't look like it yet. I'm Carl. I'm the host. And also we have tonight is going to be Roberta and Sarah.
Hey, hello, I'm Roberta from Long Island, New York. Looking forward to this evening.
Hi, I'm Sarah from Brooklyn. Nice to be with you.
Very nice. Okay. And if there's anybody watching on YouTube and Facebook, be sure to put your name, tell us where you're from. And you can answer the questions, put them in the chat, and we'll try to read them here live on what are we on here? What is it? On Zoom. Okay, so we're going to hear a tutorial with the Zoom functions. I have patience.
When you start Zoom, your microphone is muted by default. Before you can speak, you must unmute yourself. The mute/unmute button on a computer is at the lower left. On the iPad, it's the first item on top. Remember to mute yourself when you are done speaking. During the event, there might be a need to read from the chat. Roundtable questions will be displayed there. Sometimes answers from other participants are summarized for a later discussion. You can also use the chat to make comments, get technical advice, etc. The chat button on a computer is here in the middle. On the iPad, it is in the three-dot menu here.
All right, great. So we've had Javier here before with us, and he was so nice to join us again. Can't wait to hear another song. So here we go. Opening song from Javier. Please, brother.
Thank you, Carl. Always a pleasure. Who knows one? I know one. One is the earth that we all live on. Who knows one? I know one. One is the pulse like the beat of a drum. Who knows one? I know one. One is the game that we've already won. There's a special place in my heart that will never let us be apart. There's a flame that burns for us, a flame of eternal love. Who knows one? I know one, guided by a force that shines from above. Who knows one? I know one. One is the love that connects everyone. voice, one, I know one voice, one cry, one life, one song. There's a special place in my heart that will never let us be apart. There's a flame that burns for us, a flame of eternal love. There's a special place in my heart that will never let us be apart. There's a flame that burns for us, a flame of eternal love. To be one, all in one heart dancing to the drum. To be one, dancing on our way up to the sun. One voice, one cry, one life, one. There's a special place in my heart that will never let us be apart. There's a flame that burns for us, a flame of eternal love. Lie, 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 lie. Lie, 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 lie. Lie, 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 lie. Lie, 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 lie.
All right. That's an original one. I love it. That's a beautiful song. Thank you, Javier. So tonight we're going to have a video. We're going to watch a video. We're going to go into our round discussion. We're trying to create a nice, warm environment here. Hopefully by the end of tonight, we'll see what it means, this collective brilliance, and how when we all work together, when we all work together, it just makes things better. It's a proven, scientists have proved it. Oh, did I forget? Wait a minute. Oh, okay. Icebreaker. All right. I didn't. Okay. So if we can just remember to stay on topic and no criticism, and we avoid politics. And it looks like we have somebody new here. Raphael, are you new?
Yes, I just came in. I see you.
Oh, very
I
good.
saw
If you can tell us where you're from.
I'm from Israel. I saw my English is not so good. I'm sorry, but I saw a party and I want to come in.
You're welcome. Everybody's welcome. Thank you for coming. Thank you for joining. So if you can remember, like when you're not speaking, to turn off your microphone, and try to keep your cameras on, because we see that it really benefits when we get to see you and you get to see everybody. So, okay, what we're going to do right now is we're going to go into an icebreaker. And this is a lot of fun. This has to do with the collective brilliance. So go ahead, Roberta.
All right. Thanks, Carl. All right. So we're going to this is going to be fun and very interesting. And we're going to learn some stuff here. It's called the jelly bean experiment. We're going to play a game to show the whole can be much better by making decisions by any singular person or part of that group. Together, when we attune to each other, we can be much brighter than any individual alone. And it has nothing to do how bright the individuals are that are going to play this game. In the world of biology, it's called swarm intelligence. And it's as natural as the birds and bees, for both species rely heavily on collaborative decision making. Animals form closed-loop dynamic systems that adapt and change in real life and real time, resulting in a whole that makes far better decisions than any one of the individual parts. I'll just give another little information. It says here, the most cited example is the wisdom of the crowds. It involves a group of collective ability to accurately guess the number of jelly beans in a jar. For each individual, however, predicting the number of jelly beans is very hard. People do their best to estimate, but it's not surprising that most are way off. What is surprising is when you have a large enough group, the average answer tends to be highly accurate, even more accurate than the person that guessed in the group. So this is what we're going to do here tonight. In a classic experiment by a guy named Jack Trainer, he had 56 people were polled to achieve an average estimate that was within 3% of the correct number of the beans in the jar. Now, obviously, we don't have 56 people here tonight, but we're going to test a smaller group, and that's all of us here. So our friend Ever is going to show us a jar. I just also want to say, people on Facebook, if you're watching this, write down your answer, and we're going to put it, and we're going to calculate and see if we can come to this correct number closer than we would individually. So Ever's going to show us a jar of beans. So let's try to guess how many beans are in this jar. You could open up your mics.
Okay.
And give the best guess you can.
Yeah, there is a jar. We didn't find the jelly beans, so it's just white beans. I'll show you the.
Can we spotlight Eva maybe?
Yeah. Can we spotlight me? So I show you the size of the bean. That's the size of the bean. I don't know if you can see me. So, and yeah, I don't know how much in the how many beans are in there. My son counted for me, and he put the number in a piece of paper inside the jar. So let's guess, and then we'll reveal how many beans are in there. Thank you.
Right. The whole idea is that collectively we're going to come up to 3% closer than we would individually. That's the whole point of this. So whoever wants to open their mics, take a good guess. Can we keep the bean jar up there?
Yeah.
Can
I ask you? Yeah, please don't hold it. We see your fingers; they cover the bottom of the jar. It's hard to estimate.
And none of us know the answer, by the way.
Is it better?
Turn it sideways. Let's get a little more angle on this.
It's yeah.
Okay.
460.
There it is.
460.
Sarah's writing these down. She's going to calculate this. She's a
I
math.
say 350.
Okay.
387.
Wait, guys.
500.
I'm gonna
let's try that
I'm gonna write
before-
down. I'm gonna write the answers in the chat. So let's start over so I can write down your answer. Carl, you said 350.
No, I said 350.
460. Brandon said 350.
600.
500.
200.
Wait.
Wait, hold on. What was that?
283.
283.
375.
376.
376.
I
just
200.
600.
615.
How about 444?
How about 420?
I think we need a hint.
No hints. Gonna do this.
500.
Wait, is everyone giving just one answer? You can only give one answer.
I say 300.
I think Paula said 400. Yeah, Paula said 400.
I was just going to say, Nancy wanted hints. We don't know how many are in this jar. We can't even give you a hint. Did anybody not go?
I didn't go.
Okay,
I
Sarah.
said 285.
Okay. Everybody else went?
What did Sarah say? What did Sarah say?
285.
Nineshka, it should be 21 answers, at least here.
Oh, check the chat. Oh, you put it in the chat. Okay.
There's only 15 in the chat.
150.
There's four answers from Facebook. 350, 350, 280, and 686.
Alana, did you put them in the chat already or no?
No, I didn't. I didn't see on Facebook yet any answers, so I don't know.
Where'd you get those answers, Gary? From Facebook?
Yeah.
Maybe Gary has a different, access to Facebook.
500. Nina, it's 500. You didn't hear me.
Okay, Gary, can you say the answers from Facebook again?
There's two that say 350. So 350, 350, 280, and 686.
And you should have two 500s.
Maybe. There are two 350s and one 500.
Add one more 500.
Okay.
So everybody spoke?
Also, Nina, at the beginning, before we repeated it, somebody had said 387. Do you have that?
Let me scroll to the beginning. No, the first answer is 375 and no, actually the first answer is 460. Alana put her answer in the chat directly, so it's in the middle.
So somebody had said 387 the first time around, and then I don't think they repeated it when we went back over it.
Did they give another answer? Whoever said that?
You know what? Wait.
That was me. I'm sorry. Yeah, Sarah, thank you for remembering. I gave another answer because I thought you didn't hear. Thank you.
You second guessed yourself.
Yeah, I added 13, so it's 400. I gave 400.
That will make a difference, Elisa. All right. So are we ready to add it up?
So I have 21. I have 21 total. Is that what you have?
It's hard to count them in the chat, but let me try it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. No, they're more than 21. So look in the chat, Sarah.
Can you just call out what you have?
Yep. Okay. 460, 350, 600, 283, 360, 375, 376, 200, 600, 615, 444, 420, 300, 400, 285, 350, 150, 500, 350, 350, 280, 686, 500.
With all this, we better come close, guys. We have to be 3% better than our own answers. Are you going to do this now, Sarah?
Yeah.
You need the number of.
Can you tell me how many it is? Yeah.
It's very hard to count them. Let me see.
Are we going to count beans together?
I'm going to cook them. Whoever wins gets beans. That's how this game is supposed to go, actually.
I guess Target doesn't want the icebreaker to end.
Your jaw looked nice.
There's 23, Sarah.
23.
I had 24. Are you?
Oh,
Okay.
Well, how many numbers do you have, Sarah? Just use that amount of numbers.
I already had them added together.
I counted 23.
Minimum.
Well,
Great.
there was an extra
Okay.
500, so that annuls itself.
Okay, the total I have is 401.478. So you could say 402.
Okay. Eva's going to
Okay.
open this jar.
Yeah, let me see what's inside. My God, I have to find this piece of paper. There we go. I did find it. And the number is, I don't know, can you see me? 471.
471. Did we do good? No.
Yes, we did.
Not bad.
Not bad?
Not bad at all. I think we got better than 3%.
Pretty good.
Did you count what the medium is?
That's what it is.
Okay.
Sarah told us, right?
Yeah, she said, what was it? 471, 472.
Wow.
Remember how many Eva was there? 441?
471.
471.
We were
No,
only
that's
one off.
Okay.
No. The
Again.
total is 402. 402.
402. We're 70 off.
Did you delete it by 23 or 24? It's a big difference.
Do it by 24. What
Do it
happened?
by 24.
Well, we're a small group. We need 56 participants for this experiment, so we did well.
Everybody needs to invite people next week to count jelly beans. It'll be a great sale. Believe me, they'll come. All right. So you get the idea of what this is, and it really does work if we had 56 people, but it was a lot of fun, and we were not that far off. So I think it worked in all fairness. So I think I'm going to hand it back over to Carl. No? What were we going to say, Gary?
I think it would have been a lot closer if it really was jelly beans.
Maybe.
I think
Yeah.
it would have been
What were
closer.
those? Just white beans, right? Anyway,
No, if it was changed, I could have done a good job. Well, in my own, never mind.
okay.
All right.
We're gonna watch a video now about this collective brilliance. So let's roll it.
So life happens, and here we are. And we are, for whatever reason, incarnate at one of the most radical times in human history. The most radical bit has yet to come. I think we're walking straight into absolute chaos. And I think we've incarnated because we want to be here. I just don't really believe in coincidence. I think there is an immense intelligence that's running the show. And we're all facets of that intelligence. And we're here to remember who and what we are and why we are, and it's not what we've been taught, and it's not what we've been conditioned with. This is not what humanity is supposed to be. It's just not. We are made of this planet. She is in us. We are her. We're breathing her. She's breathing us. We've got oceans and rivers and rain in our blood. We're made of the rocks and the fire, and we act as if somehow we're superior. It's so upside down as to be astonishing. But the amazing thing about being lost is being found. So we're the ones who are standing at that point of greatest lostness where untruth is like prevailing, which means that the flip from radical bullshit to radical truth is sitting in our hands. And the thing is, we're encoded with it. Because we're not bullshit. And we're not designed for lies. We're designed to ring with truth. We're designed with the truth because we are the truth, because we are nature. We've just got to deal with this weird ego crap that is so well indoctrinated. And then the conditioned traumas that we've got bedded down like sedimentary rock in our systems that feel so pervasive and that contort us and contract us into what we're not. Collective consciousness is rooted in consumption. We're called consumers. We're not called restorers. We're not even called citizens anymore. We're labeled by the act of taking, which is remarkably disrespectful to the brilliance and the love and the capacity for care. I do not believe the world is thriving in the guise of the world consumer. I do not believe that how we are existing as human beings is creating happiness. It's relationship that is missing. It's the heart that is missing. We've turned our relationship with this planet into something of a commodity, as if somehow if we trash the whole thing just to make money, we're going to survive, and we're not. The reality is that inside each of us is a different truth that is accessible. Just got to figure out how to hit it. It's like being a tuning fork, tuning to the integrity of or the authenticity of a human being, you know, being that thing, creating a frequency that holds such a level of truth that is commissioned to come home to yourself. And then as soon as you've made that shift and there's an opening, there's a curiosity, what is unlived in each of us? There's no excuse anymore to sit on our gifts or our generosity or our brilliance or our radical behaviors. Time for radical. Our collective brilliance has to be the thing that brings us through. And if you have an idea, it's time for it. And if you haven't got the guts to do it, find somebody who'll hold your hand because they'll believe in you. And that has to be the way forward.
Can I say brilliant? Okay. Okay, so we're moving on to our main course, and I will be your guide. Okay, so let's go over a little bit of the etiquette. So as Carl reminded us earlier, we are creatures of our environment. So whatever environment we put ourselves in is what we're going to come out with. So let's together promise ourselves and one another that we're going to put in the best possible energy that we can into this environment that we are creating and sharing together. So 4 little rules that we're going to adhere to tonight in order to do that. The first one is that everyone is equal and very important. So it sounds simple and it sounds obvious, but we'll often find that when we really try to adhere to this, that you'll start to see that, you know, little things come up when somebody else is speaking where you'll disagree with them, or you'll have a voice that says like, oh, that's not really right, or oh, that's really stupid, or they don't know what they're talking about, or, you know, so those are little things to check in with yourself. We all have them. The woman in the video talked about ego, and they made it seem like it was just, you know, somebody sitting on a beach in a fancy, you know, place or whatever. That's really not the only thing about ego. Ego is something that we all have. We're all like under the realm of it and control of it, and it pops up in all these little ways. So let's look out for it because it's tricky. Number 2 is we go around the table and we speak briefly and on topic. This is so that we can really create this, you know, collective intelligence, collective environment where there's room for everybody. that we make sure, you know, some of us are louder than others, some of us like to speak more than others, and we don't necessarily recognize the dynamic. When one person takes over, it can take away from somebody else who may be a little bit more shy or might stand back a little bit. So let's be conscious of that. Number 3 is let's listen attentively. So when you're not speaking, you're listening as though you're speaking. You're listening like there's a higher consciousness that's speaking through the person that has the mic at that point. Number 4 is there's no right or wrong answers. This is serious. There are no right or wrong answers. It's how we, in this way, we are all consumers of what we hear from other people and what we receive from other people. And let's be conscious consumers. Let's really pay attention to how we're taking in what other people are giving and what we're giving to other people. The truth is in the center of our connection. So it's all about our connection. That's what we see with collective intelligence, is it's always about the connection of where that true intelligence comes from. Okay, so let's go into it. So just to review a little bit of what this woman was talking about in this great video, you know, we're living in this time that is so remarkable and so unique that we're living like kings. All of us are living like kings and queens. We have everything at our fingertips, right? We can, you know, order anything online and have it delivered within a day right to our doorstep from anywhere around the world. We can go out and buy anything, connect to anything. All information is right at our fingertips. We have access to everything, right? What people dreamed for centuries of, oh, if we only had access to all of this information, we would be so happy, we would be so wise, right? And we see that it's actually the opposite, is that people are more depressed, are more lonely than ever before. People are using drugs and stimulants, you know, like never before. Families are breaking apart. So why is that happening? You know, we should be living like we should all be thrilled. We should be happy all the time. We should have smiles on our faces, but that's not what's happening, right? We're seeing a breakdown in society. So let's get into that. So our first question is, why do you think that this is happening? Why do you think we're seeing this breakdown? What's causing it? Why are people so unhappy? So we're going to do it a little differently today. We're going to do popcorn style, which means nobody's going to call on you. We just want to really feel, when you feel like, we're going to go into that connection of whoever's going to speak. If they say something that really speaks to me and I have something to add to it, I'm going to join in. I'm just going to open my mic. I'm going to add in, and we're going to have it go that way like a chain. So let's get started, guys. And let's remember, we want to speak on topic. We would like to hear from everybody ideally, and each person once, please, per question, and don't speak for more than a minute, right? Let's keep it concise. Okay, let's do it.
I would like to say that I think that people have become so unhappy because we have lost connection with one another. We have become so separate that we're not able to come together with our ideals that will help one another. And I think that's a big problem that we have. Gary, help me out here. What do you think?
Well, we're doing popcorn style, but I'd be happy to say something here. I'm a little piece of popcorn. Yeah, that was a brilliant video. It really struck me. But yes, we've lost that personal touch. I mean, as consumers, you're more concerned about what I can get, and that's not the answer. That's an empty value. And the answer is in how can I connect with other people, and how can I create something with them? How can I combine my brilliance with their brilliance to make something great and creative? And I think that's where we're going to find the answer. Just an amazing video. Next. I think Nancy's talking, but your mic is, you need to unmute.
Basically, what it all comes down to is we need to be socially engaged with one another. We need connections. That's what it comes down to. Screw the car, the this, the that, the airplane. We need connections, and we can't function without it. There will be no collective brilliance without connections.
That is so true, but I'm thinking why it's happening that, you know, the theory of Darwin that we came from monkeys and we of course we went so far, but I think we still have something from monkeys in us. Like if you have something, I want the same. If you want, you know, and then I get it, and then I see that somebody has something bigger, and I want it too, you know, and the goal is to get what is appreciated by society. But if we would reverse it and I would monkey that you are so kind and you have like 15 kids and all are healthy and you have this amazing family, then maybe we will monkey something absolutely different and we will see different earth.
I think some people are unhappy because they made choices that affected others in the opposite way. They decided to use drugs, which made them unhappy. They decided to do crime, rob people, and it's sad. I mean, there's no collective brilliance in committing crime or making the choices that people make.
Yeah, I think that I agree with what Brendan is saying. I think people have become so self-absorbed, really, and it's you know, there's so many symptoms of that, like the drug abuse and which isn't just self-absorption, but also like an escape from all the unhappiness and the escape from reality, really. But everyone is like in their own world, in their own shell, and it's so become so difficult to penetrate through that, to even like have people notice you. You know, everybody's looking at their phones all the time. Nobody wants to open up, or I shouldn't say no one, but those who are unhappy.
I think this is precisely the opportunity that's showing, I mean, in front of our faces as humanity, that we're kind of in these two extremes where we're completely interconnected globally, but on the other hand, we're tending to be disconnected from each other because of the reality of the day-to-day and all the crisis. That's really, like the video mentioned, this transition that we're getting together as a humanity. Is this break point where we're at, and we really, it's teaching us about ourselves, our inner nature, to really understand. I think it's something that's necessary. It's a maturity that we're reaching as humanity, where we now have a choice. Now we're understanding what we are really and where we need to go.
Yeah, I think, if I'm allowed to answer too, I think it's like what she was saying in the video. Like I think we've lost. You know, we see from the icebreaker that we're wired to be interconnected, right? We're wired so that together, when we connect properly and we, you know, it's like when the wires are connecting properly, then we can do anything, we can solve anything. But there's this voice inside of us that we want to be the one that wins the jelly beans. I want to win the jelly beans. I want to get it right. I want to be better than everybody else. And we all have this voice. And like somebody was saying earlier, we feed off of each other. So when we see one person has that guess, I want to outbid them. I want to get it better. I want to get it right. I want to be closer. And it's like we've created this whole society, this whole, financial system. Our whole culture is based on this thing of like, I want to be the right one. I want to be the better one. And we're missing the whole point. It's like all of the meaning and the purpose is lost completely from that, just because of this voice that's chasing after meaningless, self-promotion. And
I wanted to add just briefly what Sarah said. The reason why I think people are acting like this, it's a lack of love. Why does somebody want to outbid the other and be better than the other? To say I'm right, and then they feel the feeling of love. There's a lack of people like expressing themselves. And I think through competition and society and the media and all that's on TV, it's when you do something that you outshine somebody, you're getting some kind of love, but that's like a superficial love. And I see today with kids today, like Nina said, behind their phone, that's all they're doing. Looking at the phone, there's no interaction of actually with people anymore. It's like you're in your own world, and whatever happens, no, you're not affecting everybody, but that's what's lost, that connectiveness and the repercussions of not showing and giving love back and forth. I just wanted to share that.
Thank you, Roberta. So we have to move on to the next question. So the next one is, what role does our collective brilliance play in the solution to the problem? So how can we fix the solution knowing that we have this thing called collective brilliance? And let's try to hear from some of the people that we haven't heard from yet, if possible.
I think part of the solution there is that we have to be educated, maybe somewhat like tonight, that we do have it. We do have this collective intelligence. To be frank, we've been educated that we do not have that. It's not like we missed it or something like that. We've been told that being individual and obtaining individual things is how we should live our lives. The entire society tells us that. So I think this is first we have to do what we've done here tonight and start to acknowledge that there is a collective intelligence and it's real, and it's important that we know about it.
Yeah, I want to add to that. Like loneliness is like sure, you're going to be unhappy if you're lonely. So, I mean, just imagine if we didn't start this open diner. The people that come here, maybe they'd find something else. Yeah, but this really changes your life, being with other people who are thinking the same thing, trying to achieve the same thing. So the collective brilliance, when people come together with the same thing, it definitely boosts the mood. So let's be happy together.
Can we hear maybe from Pamela, Alana?
Can you hear me? I'm always afraid that. So I was, I don't know if I'm the only one, but the video made me a little bit sad. I don't know why. I just kept on focusing on some of the screenshots of, the garbage and in the just like what we're doing to this planet. So, but then I tried to not be so negative on it. And I thought about where I grew up in the Bronx. I was exposed to so many different religions and I had such good friends. And I was raised Christian, but I don't really identify with a particular religion, but the happiest and most calmest and most joy, I guess, I felt is when I went with a lot of my friends, starting from the age of probably 10, 11, 12, I would go to the temple and I would go to just different, their sense of community is what resonated with me. So that's what I'm trying to, the point I'm trying to get to is that, yeah, I mean, the only way we're going to make this world any better is if, no matter, you know, what religion or what we believe in, if we can just all come together just like we are this evening. So that's my 2 cents.
I would like to add that I agree with everybody, very good thoughts. And I think the key is better communication, connection with each other, and sharing things, love to each other. That's all will lead us to this collective brilliance.
Thank you so much. I'm just going to read a few answers from the chat that are going on in Facebook. We have Julia saying, I think it's because people have lost touch with what really matters, human connection, not materialistic things. David says people are unhappy because they've become so distanced from each other. They also lack importance, need to find their place in society. And we have Maria saying people become so indifferent to everything around them, nothing out of their box bothers them. So anybody else want to add in before we move to the next part?
I do.
Go ahead.
When I was in fraudulent, I didn't know, brain injury rehab, I woke up every morning depressed. And there was only one counselor I really liked. And she had this bravery going into an operation. She believed in God and that he wouldn't handle more than whatever. What I'm saying is she was not afraid, and it was because of her faith. I'm Jewish, okay? I said to her, do you go to church near here? Yes. Does it happen in the morning? Because I got so depressed. Yes. I started going to church with her every friggin' Sunday morning because I had to hear good. I had to hear good. And I did. And then what I did was typical Nancy. I went and I wanted to drink the wine, so I got my Jewish self baptized. My mother said, whatever works. I got myself baptized. You guys, you've got to look up this chick. My patron saint is somewhere listed under murder and insult. And murder and incest. That's who they gave me as my whatever they call it. I don't know, patron saint or something. And they said it was the patron saint of anxiety. You guys look up DYMPHNA. It's only Nancy would get a friggin' patron saint like that. Jesus. But I needed good, and there was good.
Okay, thank you, Nancy. That's what we're saying, right? Is like, I mean, I understand what Pamela's saying. It is sad to look at that, right? To see like what we've been doing collectively. It's not just the planet, it's what we're doing to each other, right? It's what Roberta says, is that we're lacking love. So we feel like we have to get it from the outside. But yeah, we can do good, we can give good, right? We can create that around us. Okay, so speaking of which, let's go to the next part, which is exactly where we can give to each other and where we can receive from each other and continue it on and create this collectively brilliant dance party. So we're going to put this amazing song on that we all love. We've had it before. And just remember, when you are spotlighted, you're going to be on the center of the screen. There's going to be text in the middle. Don't try to read it, because by the time you read it, you will have missed your turn and none of us will get to follow your dance move. So just do a dance move. As soon as you see writing in the middle of your screen, do your best dance move. We're all going to copy you, and then we're going to go to the next person. And have a great time, everybody.
We
All right. I didn't show up once there. That's great. All right. That's a good part. That dance. I love it. So, Javier, are you ready? Let's hear it.
Let's hear it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let your heart speak. Let your heart listen. Shoulder to shoulder. You won't be alone. Love is around like the deepest ocean. Together we'll draw in. I won't let go. And it feels so good to be a part of you. This is what the life should be. Learning to unite, living in the light. We'll win this fight, and everything's gonna be alright. Learning to unite, learning to unite, living in the light. We'll win this fight, and everything's gonna be alright. Learning to unite, dearest friend. Thank you for being. Thank you for hearing what my heart says. Now is the time for the walls to be broken, for the doors to be open. It's time to pray, and it feels so good to be a part of you. This is what the life should be. Learning to unite, living in the light. We'll win this fight, and everything's gonna be alright. Learning to unite, yeah, learning to unite, living in the light. We'll win this fight, and everything's gonna be alright. Learning to unite, learning to unite, living in the light. We'll win this fight, and everything's gonna be alright. Learning to unite, learning to unite, living in the light. We'll win this fight, and everything's gonna be alright. Learning to unite. There's only now, only this moment, when we are together, together as one.
Encore, encore. Let's hear it again. I love that song too.
Thank you.
Thank you, Javier. So nice. So nice. All right. Well, we're about to wrap it up. That was amazing. I love seeing all of your faces, having this discussion with you. This is a beautiful time. Dancing. We have a really good time. Thank you, everybody. We're gonna show our the meetup and the Instagram and YouTube. You can follow us there. You all know, you've heard it. And it's great to share it with friends. If you can share this with friends, it's really good. And maybe people on YouTube and Facebook, if you can hold some watch parties. And thank you for coming. Thank you for watching on YouTube and Facebook. And we're going to continue this every Thursday at 6:30. This is a great time, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you for coming. Thank you for the tech team. Javier, you're amazing. I love your singing. And thank you, everybody. We do this for you.
Can someone again tell me how to find past episodes?
I think that's done on Instagram. You can go to Instagram and
Facebook.
Do I have to
and
go?
on
Facebook
Facebook.
and
Yeah.
Facebook and YouTube.
YouTube, just put an open Dinah. You see our logo, click on it, and it shows a whole playlist of all our videos. I find it easiest on for me on YouTube. YouTube open Dinah.
All right.
We have a very special event next week, friends.
You look good, Colin, with your new haircut.
What's that? My new haircut?
You look gorgeous.
Thank you, Nancy. You always look gorgeous.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
I was going to tell everyone we have a very special event next week in honor of Valentine's Day. We're going to be celebrating love. Everybody wants to celebrate love. So please go on Meetup, Facebook. The event is up. We want to see a lot of beautiful faces. You're all beautiful. Thank you.
Can we all be each other's Valentine?
Yes, that's what we're going to do.
Yep.
Have a great week, everybody.
Thank you, everybody. It was a wonderful evening.
Thank you.
Thank you. See you next week.
Thank you.
Great hosts. Thank you.
Good night, everybody.